Guys, we're at the halfway point of the year, so what better time to rank the best albums of the year so far. Now, with this tier ranking video you're about to watch, you're not going to agree with my picks. Not at all. But that's okay. You can comment down your list in the comments down below. And if your album's on here, you know, maybe I haven't checked it out yet, or I just didn't love it as much as you, and that's okay. That's how we be friends. You don't want to have the exact same opinions as me. That's boring. What kind of conversation is that? Oh yeah, you like this band? Yeah, that band's cool. Like, no, oh, you like that band more than this band? Wow, I want to know why you think that. Right? More better conversation. So anyway, I'm going to shut up. So here's the best albums of 2025 so far. Whoa, METALBIRB here, because I forgot an important detail, and that's all the albums that I checked out on this list. You can find the album reactions on Patreon, so there's a link down below if you want to support the channel and join. Also, you get access to the private Discord, so good Patreon plug, right? Anyway, back to the video. All right, so here's the tier list, and here's all the albums. I know it doesn't even seem like a lot, but I still have a lot of albums I need to check out. But bro, before we move on to the list, this year has been insane. 2025 has been nutty. Like I was calling it with my most anticipated albums video back in January, knowing that this year is going to be nuts for records, and it already is. We're at the halfway point, and there's going to be even more exciting records in the second half. But anyway, I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to do my list a little bit differently and not rank it chronologically. So I feel like this year has been a little quiet on the prog scene. There's some bands really coming through, you know, Rivers Nile, Coheed and Cambria, Dream Theater, right? But this album I thought was probably the most engaged that I've been with this band in some time. Their music has been iconic for the emo scene and prog rock scene, but with this new record, it's emotional, it's catchy, it's technical, it's just, it feels like it's a collection of their work. And it's, again, some of the finest work that this band has written in years for me. Now, you could probably think it's Dream Theater, but no, I'm going to have to give it to Coheed and Cambria, which is going to be my number 9th album. I was quite pleasantly surprised with The Father of Make Believe. All right, next band on the list has gone through a lot of changes over the years, and I feel like when bands change their key members and go through a lot of like replacements, it can make or break the band. And with their new vocalist, which is the third vocalist that this band has been using, luckily it didn't break the band at all. I feel like this is a new refreshing take at the band because the new singer is bringing pop sensibilities and like some R&B, a little bit of Spanish influence too, which is really cool, and some French, and just a lot of style. But style with substance. It's very, just fresh for the band. Plus included with some amazing guitar work, amazing instrumentals, and album that has a lot of variety. Truly one of the most enjoyable records that I've heard all year, and I am so stoked for this band's future. But Novelist Coda, absolutely adore this record. It is probably going to be at 6 for me. Really, really enjoyed it.
Can't you say it's a sign?
All right, the next band I want to talk about is a band that means a lot to me. They were actually my very first concert. I didn't go to see them. They opened for Thrice, but I was pleasantly surprised by some of the new songs that they were in because they were darker and heavier. And then after some couple more records, they started to write heavier, but then they started losing members and a whole bunch of other things and drama. And then the band came back years later after a hiatus, and they start writing like arena rock, which wasn't bad. It just wasn't what I initially loved. And as much as I love this band, I feel like some of their latest offerings have been a little bit hit or miss for me. They haven't been up to my style because they can't write the same aggressive, emotionally charged, like post-hardcore, metalcore music that they've written. So with this new record, they took the elements that I enjoyed as a fan from 20 years ago, but bringing in some modern production and just a lot of flair and style. This is one of the most refreshing takes that this band has written on an album. It's also like pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy too. Not as heavy as some of their other stuff, but it's full of energy, a lot of unique sounds. But my number 10 has to go to Under Oath, the place after this one. All right, next band on my list actually dropped an EP, and I get it, okay? This is best albums, not best EPs, but man, this is just as long as some of the albums I checked out. And yeah, you can probably guess who it is, especially when I talk about fall, but this band seemed like it was a little bit overhyped in the scene when they first started coming out. Everyone thought they were like the greatest thing since sliced bread, and even though it was just like guitar sound after guitar sound for me, I didn't quite get it. I thought they were blowing the band out of proportion, but then their new EP dropped, and yeah, their use of dubstep and classical music was refreshing, and I felt like every song had like distinct ideas within it that you can pick apart the songs individually, because like a lot of fall projects, they all kind of blur together and just sound like cool guitar idea to the next guitar idea, and with some creepy atmosphere. You know, look at the Godfather's Giarta. And so Mirar took those elements from Giarta but created something new and forward thinking, some of the most creative guitar work. And I get it's not for everyone. It does feel like a band that still has potential, and especially in the songwriting area, but I still really enjoyed it. I think there's a lot of cool ideas that just blows me away. Even today, like after listening to the EP a few times, it still blows me away. But yeah, Mirar Ascension, I have to put it number 7. All right, next band I want to talk about is a band that means a lot to me as well. I've been making videos for them since the beginning of my channel, and it's been really fun to watch them blow up and become this huge band in the scene. And you know, some people call me a simp for that band as if it's like a insult. Like, I don't care. I'm a total simp for this band. I'm a total simp for a lot of these bands, man. But this record feels like their most cohesive project, and that's what I really enjoyed about this record. I did find that other albums or EPs that this band has dropped have stronger songs for me, where I can go back to those songs on playlists. But as a album, as a collective piece, I think this album is very strong, from having enough variety but a distinct atmosphere and tone throughout, and a concept about their where they grew up from and their history of Vancouver Island. But really enjoyed Spirit Box. These guys rarely ever miss for me, so I am going to put Tsunami Sea at number 4. Next band is Crazy. They are so crazy, and if you like crazy music, then you should check this out. That's the best way to sum it up. If I had an elevator pitch and I was running out of time, you like crazy, chaotic, mathcore, unpredictable, unorthodox music that's also catchy, then check this out. This album is one of the best albums of the year. I was pleasantly surprised by how aggressive and how genuine and how much character is in this record. It's goofy, it's weird, but there's also a lot of heartfelt emotions behind it. It's an album that is in your face, but knows how to not take itself too seriously. They also wear their influences on their sleeve, like Dillinger Escape Plan and maybe other mathcore bands back in the day, like Botch and stuff. What they did here is create a record that, again, is full of character, so unpredictable, and you will not get everything on first listen because it's packed to the brim with so many ideas. If you have ADHD, then check out the Callous Dow Boys with I Don't Want to See You in Heaven, which I'm going to rank at number 2. All right, if you like riffs, if you like old school metalcore, like with emphasis on the metal, you know, a lot of guitar riffs, a lot of sick solos and high energy from the metal, but also has the breakdowns from hardcore, then check this out. Especially if you're a fan of like Parkway Drive and stuff, then I feel like these guys are bringing it to a new audience, but taking elements that was working for them, which again is the riffs and the instrumentals, but like making it so focused and high energy that it just locks you in, especially for the first half of the record. First half of the record is so strong. Second half, there's some songs that I really enjoy, but I really feel like the first half is just like locks you in with its ideas and riffage and energy. It's just so packed to the brim with high octane metalcore. I feel like octane is not the right word because this is not going to be on Octane Radio. Maybe. That'd be sick if it does. But no, these guys are sick. I really enjoyed Bleed From Within. Zenith, I'm going to put this at number 8. Next album is probably the most fun I've had with this band in years. They are one of my favorite bands, and with some of their latest offerings, they've kind of lost me a little bit. Although a band can write whatever music that they want, it doesn't matter to me. But as a fan, I also can feel a certain way about their albums too. And again, some of their recent albums have been lacking the emotionally charged energy from their previous records, and also lyrically were not captivating at all to me, and the ideas were so over the top and the production was so overproduced that it just lost me as a fan, because they were raw, emotional, technical, progressive, and all that was gone in favor of overproduced, really polished, catchy arena rock metalcore. This record takes what was working for those arena rock metalcore anthems, but is also bringing the energy and the intensity from their older records. They're taking elements from the old and the new, and that's why it's one of the most fun records I've had. Like, as a consistent record from start to finish, I don't really listen to it front to back, but the songs that I do enjoy, like Elegy, Whiplash, Black Hole, Brain Dead, Evil Eyes, Landmines, Seen Red, like half the record I really enjoy. It's just fun metalcore that is catchy and has great breakdowns. Really enjoyed Architects, The Sky, the Earth, and All Between, which is going to be at number 5 for me. All right, next band on the list doesn't need much of an introduction. They are literally the biggest band right now, arguably the biggest band, and they're also one of the most hated bands. Now, I could go on and on about this band, but since I've been making videos for them since 2019 and I've been listening to them since 2018, it's crazy to see this progressive band start from literally the bottom and become this huge phenomenon that they are today. But if you've been following them like I have and many others, then it's kind of predictable, or you can kind of predict it, because the marketing and the allure to the band was unlike anything else that now other bands are trying to copy and emulate this style. For people that can't get into the vocals, sure, that's fine. The vocals aren't for everybody. There's some songs from the past that maybe the vocals aren't my thing, but when the songs hit, they absolutely hit for me. They're so emotionally charged, and the pacing and the payoffs, the build-ups, the crescendos, the switches, the genres, and the drumming and the production. This is just a fantastic record that I absolutely adored. Now, it wasn't as surprising as their previous record for me, because this feels like it's just doing a lot of the similar ideas that were working on the previous record, so that surprise factor is gone for me. But don't get me wrong, half this record I absolutely enjoy, but there are some songs that I don't really go back to too much. Past Self, Dangerous, Provider, Democles. Sorry, it's Democles to me. Those songs are skips for me, so really there's 6 songs that I really enjoy and 4 songs that I'm not crazy about. But the great thing about this band is that those songs that I don't really care for, others find so much enjoyment in it. That's why this band is appealing to so many people, because a song that I might not be crazy about is a song that someone else could be absolutely bananas for. Now, with all the hate that this band gets, and it's cool to hate on them, I won't ever jump on that bandwagon, because I used to be that person back in high school that would shit on all the popular bands and then realize now in my 30s, oh wait, these bands were actually cool and they wrote good music. And it happens all the time. It happened to Nickelback, it happened to My Chemical Romance, it's happening to Sleep Token right now. 10-15 years from now, people will be like, oh well, I was hating on Sleep Token too much. But since they're at the top, people love to hate on it. I don't care. I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon. Like I said, I think this band is very special for the scene, and they're fantastic. I'm going to rank Sleep Token, Even in Arcadia, at number 3. Oh, you thought it was going to be number 1. No, like I said, there's a couple songs that I'm not crazy about, and it didn't really wow me as much as Take Me Back to Eden on first listen, but still, it's a fantastic record. Some of the songs on that record are my favorite songs of the year, like Look to Windward. Like, oh, what a banger. All All right, time to move on to my album of the year at the moment. And this could change. This is just currently how I'm feeling right now. But this album is number one because it's in a style of music that I don't necessarily gravitate towards. And why it's at number one is because when I'm listening to all the other records here that I've mentioned and talked about, I can predict the feeling that it's going to give me. I can predict what's going to happen sometimes too. And I still enjoy it. It's still a good time. But when you're challenged with a style of music that maybe you don't necessarily enjoy or understand, and when it clicks, when you have that click moment, it's kind of euphoric. It's something that you finally understand. And that's what happened when I listened to this record. It really changed my pre-existing notion on this genre of music. Don't know if that's the right term to use, but it's a style of music that I never could understand vocally and understand the appeal to it. But when you have that euphoric experience that challenges you as a listener, and after you listen to the album, you're left with feeling kind of like a new person in a way, because you just expanded this part of your brain that you've been wanting to unlock. This could be mumbo jumbo, but this is why this album I thoroughly enjoyed, because I've been trying to get into black metal for the life of me. And finally, this album was able to do it. And you can argue that it's, you know, shoegaze and black metal and progressive metal, but goddamn, this album is such a beautiful, hypnotic, emotional, raw experience. And after I'm finished with the record, I'm left with this feeling that it's kind of hard to explain, that not many records on this list kind of give me that same feeling. But yeah, I'm so happy that I'm able to have some sort of cathartic experience and finally got to open my mind to this genre because of this record. So I have to give my number one to Death Heaven, Lonely People with Power. So yeah, here's some of the other albums and EPs that I checked out that I still enjoyed. You know, if we're going to talk about Me Rar shouldn't be there because it's the EP, then I would have probably put Thornhill Bodies as my number 10. All That Remains, I also shocked is not in my number 10 because I really enjoyed that record as well. Really enjoyed the House of Protection EP too. But yeah, those are the albums that I really enjoyed this year. So what is your top albums of 2025 so far? So comment down below, spice up my life. Guys, you know what to do. The comments help out the videos and the algorithm, but I also would love to see the list. I'd love to see where people's opinions are at and what albums I haven't checked out that I need to check out. So let me know in the comments down below, but feel free to hit the subscribe button. Feel free to leave a like, enjoyed the video, bar that. Thank you for tuning in. Till next time. Peace.